A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
What even is an astral elf?
I don't know.
And how is it different from all the other elves?
I don't know.
I genuinely don't know.
I'm so confused.
They just have black not irises. What's it called? The area around your eye that's white?
Not people.
The white of your eye?
The
That
Mitsubishi?
it's black for them instead of white like every other race. So that's the only defining difference that they have.
Okay, what did you do to make Bertuzit cry?
Oh, we were just talking about SCPs and creepypastas before you got in here.
You broke him.
Yeah. He just does that sometimes, though. Like, he'll be okay in a minute. Just like roll the intro, and he'll be fine when we get back.
All right, roll the intro, I guess.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat 1 podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertusit.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
Hello, Mario.
We are not continuing this bit for another episode.
Hello,
Putting an end to that right
People
there.
understand the bit. I'm just.
Hello, editing Jordan.
Blame Levi, he's the one that said it first.
Hey, Taryn said it first.
Well, you can't blame Taryn for all of your mistakes.
Mm.
Well, I can't blame him for most, though.
Yeah, me too. Welcome back, everybody.
Woo!
Today we're here. It's the first episode after Spooky Month, probably.
Indeed.
We're no longer scary. Yeah.
Yes, it is not Spooky Month anymore.
It's November
what the
now.
heck?
Yeah.
Happy Christmas season!
Woo!
Not
Ever.
yet. It's not Thanksgiving yet.
I start listening to Christmas music on July 3rd.
Once again, we've had this conversation several times over the past
Hold on.
week. You're
Wait a
doing it
minute.
illegally.
Wait a second. We'll save that for next week's episode, maybe. Welcome back, Ashlyn.
Yay!
It's been Ashlyn's season here on Nat 1 podcast. She's been here for 3 whole episodes.
What?
That's right, she has.
Yeah, you don't know about the
3?
third one yet.
We
Yeah, she
haven't
doesn't
shot
know.
the third one yet.
Yeah. No, don't tell the audience
I was
that.
like, have I?
But yeah, we're back, and since it's not scary time anymore, it's November. It's kind of like low season. We don't know what the heck to talk about, but
I
we
do.
did play a cool game recently. Yeah, Jordan, tell us about it.
So recently we played this awesome tabletop role-playing game by Spencer Stark called Alice is Missing. It is a silent role-playing game. And we played it as a little group, and I thought it was really fun. I was really excited to play this because I'm a huge tabletop game, like board game nerd. And this game, I saw a bunch of reviews for it, and it's won like a bunch of awards, and the art is stunning. And so yeah, we played it and we had a really good time.
Yeah. And for the lovely people at home that may or may not know, could you elaborate on who the creator is?
He's a board game creator. I also think he's worked for Critical Role before, if I'm not mistaken. He's super cool.
So if you're only here for D&D stuff, there's your reason to stay.
Yep. Or also just like if you're looking for a new game to play in the interim, like between sessions, that's what we did, and it was a pretty cool, fun role-playing exercise.
It's a good hour and a half. Yeah, role-playing exercise. Yeah, it's very good to get the juices flowing for
Mhm.
like RP kind of stuff.
I would agree.
Especially when your friend gets their seatbelt stuck in your car on them right at the climax of the story.
We can talk about that once we get distracted. I should probably pull up our group chat and we can talk about highlights from the group chat once we get further into the discussion too.
I'm a beast. I am a chaotic improv ball of
I
energy.
forgot it was called surprise party chat.
Yeah, we never elaborated on that either.
No,
we
did.
didn't need to.
Yeah, the original reason for all that was we were trying to. Okay, hold on. So, so we have all of these pretty disparate characters that have no real reason to have a group chat together, and Jordan's like, "Why on earth should we have this? What should it be called?"
Wait, just briefly before we continue, we should probably just give a brief explanation. The way Alice is Missing works is you're all silent and you're all in a group chat together. So like all of the RP is done via text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's done. Okay,
And
continue.
and I should also clarify the first you find out what happens through the stories through a series of cards, and the first card that is drawn is what starts the game. It's drawn by Charlie Barnes. And it's the message that kicks off because Charlie is the only character that does not know that Alice has been missing for 3 days before the start of the game. And so the first message that is sent in the group chat is, "Hey guys, sorry for the group text, but has anybody heard from Alice?" And so I was like, all right, what reason do we have all of these people's numbers? Like, why on earth does Charlie have all these people's numbers? So we elaborate.
It was a surprise party for Alice because that's the literally only thing that binded all of our characters together.
Yeah. Some of us were friends, some of us were siblings, some of us were more than friends.
Ashlyn, what were you?
I was the secret girlfriend. Oh my
No.
I'm good at playing the girlfriend role.
Now,
Yeah.
what was your secret?
Oh crap. What was it? It was. I think it was. I forget.
I can pull the cards out. I'm gonna pull the cards because I know what it was once I look at the cards.
Yeah.
But that's a
okay.
good idea. We can go around and tell everybody who we played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't actually mean your real secret. I forgot this game did have secrets. I was just trying to make a joke because you were the secret girlfriend. So...
I thought you were actually asking for my.
No, I forgot that those existed.
I have the game, and this isn't spoiler because the characters stay the same between all of the plays, so like everybody's aware of these secrets. It's just meta knowledge. What was your secret? You recently got an anonymous message from someone regarding your relationship with Alice.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was my secret, and that actually came in to play. I think it was I got a text from Pertusit's character, and it was like, "Hey, I know that you're her girl, or yeah, I think you're her girlfriend or something." And then at that time, I was like, "Oh, okay, you must have been the anonymous person that knew that I was the girlfriend." And then at the same time, every other character texted me. It was like, "Hey, this is relationship."
Pertusit told everybody, like, "Hey, they're dating. Go ask her about it."
This was pretty funny.
So
So
we're keeping it a secret.
not me. Yeah, my character's name was Evan, and my character's whole thing was that they were the admirer. They had the crush on Alice. And there's a very cool element to this game that I will touch on real quick, and then everyone can talk about it themselves as they see fit. But you draw these like relationship cards that you apply to the other players, and you discuss how it works and everything.
I love that part.
I do as well. And I had in preparation for this, for the day that we played this, I watched other people play it, and there's only so many cards. So while every single time will be different because of the random generation, sometimes you'll see the same prompts and stuff. But I got one that was like, "I know how you really feel about Alice." And in the game that I watched, it was like someone played that against her brother and was like, "I know that you are protective of her, but you have a hard time showing it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, fine. I had that, and I was like, "What the heck should I do with this? I'm the admirer. I have the crush. What the heck should I do? Who could I use this on? The old friend, the current best friend, the brother? What if I used it on the secret girlfriend? What if I have a crush, but also know she's dating someone?" So Ashlyn and I were working on that, and I was like, "This is heart-wrenching, but cool." That was my big one. There's a downside one I had as well, or maybe a good one, but I forgot what the other side of it was. Jordan.
I know that the second relationship on your card was you did not like me.
That's what it was. We'd never
You
really
thought I was a
gotten along or
creep,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But I played Charlie Barnes. I was a facilitator for the game, so I was Charlie Barnes, the one who moved away. And so I like Charlie. I drew art of Charlie. I got really into it. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what I know that one of the relationships I had was with Levi, and it was like Alice forgave you for something, but I never did. Like, I know what happened. And then the other one was with Taryn, because Taryn played the best friend.
Yeah.
And so Taryn was Dakota. And so we played it as like Dakota and Charlie had been best friends, but then Charlie had to move away. So Dakota and Alice, it had been Dakota, Alice, and Charlie, but then Dakota and Alice were left behind and got really close.
Which is really cool because that came into play a little bit of some little blame game going on.
Oh, yeah.
Levi, what did you do?
I don't remember my character's name.
Jack Briarwood.
Nah, I thought it was Jack. I couldn't remember the
Jack
last
Daniels.
name. But yeah, I was the older brother. I was Alice's older brother, and the way we decided to do it, because you get these characters, but you don't get any more information other than like their relation to Alice and their name, pretty much. So you can be a little bit creative with that. So I was like the older brother I was doing a gap year of college, and I was the the guy who peaked in high school, so I still hung out with all the high schoolers, and like I got them alcohol and stuff because I was over 21. That was my thing, and that's like what all the other characters knew me for, which is funny also because out of the entire group I was like the middle age. There were 2 people older than me actually playing the game.
This is true.
Yeah.
Would have been even funnier if TJ was there, because then it would have been 3.
Next time.
What was my secret? What was my secret?
Let me look.
I don't remember.
I have the cards.
It was that I got into a fight with Alice.
Yep.
Yeah, where it was mine actually didn't really get brought up that much. Because we kind of got into the action of anything before we could try to that's the thing, is no one really pointed blame to me, because I think because I was playing the older brother, no one was gonna be like, oh, the older brother didn't like do anything. You're the older brother. And I wasn't playing like Pertusa said, where someone else played like a brother that had a hard time showing their I definitely wasn't playing that. I was straight up just being like, yes, I love my sister. What happened to her? I'm going to find her.
Yeah.
So
you were like threatening people in the chat. You were like, I'm gonna bash CJ's head in when I find that kid.
Yeah. So I very much was not playing the role of like suspicion at all, because I think it felt no one really had a reason to accuse me. But my secret was that basically like my character had gone through college and gotten a degree and everything, but then like the dad of our family was like, son, I need you to come home and work at our family store and basically give up on all your dreams. And so Alice thought that was bad and got in a fight with me and dad over it. And then, she disappeared right after that. So my character obviously was like, oh crap. Like
I feel like throughout the game, the location just worked out perfectly.
It did. I was so surprised, like pleasantly.
Like, because I think, like, I made up that was Alice's and I's hangout spot, and that's where we always went. And, like, I stuck with that from, like, the very beginning. And then it ended up spoilers happening there.
Yeah, that was our final location. Well, and it also worked out because it worked with the thing that I did with the lighthouse. With Charlie broke their arm there ghost hunting with that, because that's how Charlie and Alice were friends, is they were ghost hunting buddies. And so they had gone ghost hunting at the lighthouse, and Charlie didn't go there anymore before they moved away, because last time they like fell on it was abandoned, so they fell like through a floorboard or something and broke their arm. And so Alice would go there alone, and lo and behold, met Julia while she was trolling around the lighthouse alone.
Yeah, the story flowed incredibly well. That was one thing that we all noticed, but I remember especially, Ashlyn, you said that after it was over, everything flowed perfectly well. Like a story was told, there weren't a lot of hiccups. It didn't feel awkwardly maneuvered or anything.
I'm just like fully impressed with the game itself. Because like it must have took a lot of work to get all those kinks worked out.
Oh yeah.
I bet
and also
time it is smooth like that.
not to toot our own horns or anything, but I do think part of it,
I tooted.
I think part of it has a little bit to do with we played D&D for a while, so we've got experience with interacting with each other as characters that aren't us in the real world. So we can all embody a different character and immediately take on that mindset and fill their role. We have experience with RP, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the relationships kind of fell into place pretty quickly, yeah.
It takes a group, I think, that's good with that. Because, like, I'm sure you don't have to take it completely serious, but you have to take it to a degree to where it doesn't feel like awkward for people. Like, you have to fully invest yourself into it and not judge other people. Like, just allow people to also invest themselves.
Yeah, everyone's got to be on the same page for sure. We can't have one person trying to make this into an alien invasion story while the rest are dealing with real stuff.
Come on, I tried.
Frick CJ. I'm gonna kill CJ.
He got roboted. That's all I heard was I'm gonna kill CJ.
Oh, that's
What?
Your audio like completely cut out and just came back in for I'm gonna kill CJ.
The best part.
You were staring at the camera.
Your camera was stuck, so you said that like a ventriloquist. Just like, I'm gonna kill CJ.
I said fuck CJ, all my homies hate CJ, and then I'm gonna kill CJ.
We do hate CJ. Yeah. This is a CJ haters club.
Was he the creeper or was he the ex-boyfriend?
He was the creep. Ryan the ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Ryan the ex-boyfriend and the hot
hate
teacher.
Ryan.
Yes, we all
I think
hate
Ryan was actually the character that I was threatening to kill the most.
Yeah, he was. Although
Yeah, because
CJ
he
went
was the home
missing and we
invader.
never found out
Yeah,
why.
we never found out
There
what
was
happened
nothing
to
wrong with
CJ.
CJ. We just had like accusations of him being.
He was a creep. Well, because like we didn't like him. All of us didn't like him. Charlie didn't like him because they had done yearbook with him. Evan hated both Charlie and CJ.
I don't trust yearbook people, dude. They're sus. Taking pictures without my permission.
That was something that happened in the chat where like accusations were flying about CJ, and then Pertusa just puts, "Yeah, I don't trust anyone that uses yearbook as a pass to just take pictures of unsuspecting people." And so I just what was it? I just texted like "brah."
That was a fun exercise too. Was texting in character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much y'all messed with that, but like, everyone that texts, which is almost everybody. You got like a style of how you text, like whether or not you do the capitals, whether or not you do the punctuation, you know, how you handle typos and stuff like that. And like, I wanted, since this was a silent game and the only way you can convey stuff is through texts and gifts and stuff like that, I wanted to try and change the way I type, and it hurt me so much. Because I'm used to doing the capitalized correctly, punctualized correctly, all that stuff. And suddenly I'm like, well, I'm trying to be a teen. I probably wouldn't do that. So no periods, no commas, no apostrophes anymore, no capitals. Eventually I gave up because my autocorrect was making me do it the way I used to, the correct way. And I was like, I can't fight the autocorrect anymore.
I think that everybody did eventually develop their own style, though. Like, there were definitely very definitive character voices for everybody.
Which was cool.
Yes, it was
took
very
some
cool.
warming up, but like I feel like that's with everything. You know, where you gotta roll.
I say memes.
Also, Pertusa said a bad word.
I did?
Yes, you did. You called Ryan a dickbag.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when that happened, and I was like, whoa.
Same. I had a moment of like, oh my god. But for context, our dear Pertusa does not swear just out of principle and does not do it. So when that happened, I was like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I very rarely in my life swear. There's been like one documented incident.
He's there.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. This is curiosity. Why is that?
No particular reason.
Don't do it.
Yeah, just cuz.
I see. Mine is like the opposite end of the spectrum, where I just cuss because.
Yeah, see, I'm on the other one.
It's just fun. I think it's very expressive. If you
That's true. Levi's told me that because I don't, I come up with very creative means to say things,
Yeah.
like to be mean
It's
and do stuff
funny.
like that. He thinks it's funny.
It's
I just
wonderful.
do it.
I mean, it is true that it is like a easy way to throw out something funny, and like if you don't cuss, you have to think more about it. But also, I think
Not cuss makes you
I-
smarter.
it probably does, but I'm just not funny, and so like
No.
my go-to.
Oh, that's not true. No, I don't like it. This isn't like a thing where I have like beef with anyone that curses or anything. Like it's just me. It's just it's like how it's just the way I want to do stuff.
I think I have situational humor. Like I can and I don't even mean to do it.
Oh no, for sure. You got some very funny stuff sometimes, Ashlyn. Like whenever you just pop out, you'll say like a one-liner that is the
Yeah.
funniest thing in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Also, you'll roll with the punches, some of the best. You do the improv pretty well.
Woo!
Oh, that's the real show.
Revealing one of the worst atrocities in world history. Ashley's character. Well, time to go ride the roller coaster.
Oh.
It's very important.
It was a stakeout. But also, I wanted to call attention to another cool thing that I thought was interesting. Was like one of the cards that I got was like Alice gave me something that like right before she left, a couple days before she left, she gave me something, and I was supposed to just hold it for her. And again, like I said, I watched someone do it before that got this card, and theirs was they got a USB and they didn't open it up or anything. But I chose that I got a duffel bag full of money. And this was not like something I researched. I was like, that's just something else that's not a USB that's really sus that I'm going to do. And then after it was over, like we were talking a bit about it. And then Jordan revealed that there was a card that was like a duffel bag
There
full
is,
of money.
because there's a search deck for like if you're stumped or you need a new prompt or something. If you're at a location that's not necessarily part of a card, there's a mechanic where there's a search deck where you can just draw like something that you find that adds to the story, and you can use it if you're stumped or if you just want to like mix things up and throw a wrench into the story. And there is a card that is a duffel bag full of money.
Imagine if the one time, because I was the only person who used the search deck. So imagine if the one I pulled was a duffel bag full of money.
I know. I think
And
the one
then-
that you pulled was funnier though, considering that the white van came up 5 minutes later anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would have been crazy though, because it would have made Evan panic. The
Yeah.
second I was like, guys, I found a duffel bag full of money.
Oh no.
I also wonder how it would have made Pertusa feel.
I just
Knowing that there was a card that was a duffel bag full of money, and me just being like, hey guys, I found a duffel bag full of money.
Well, I'll be honest, most of the stuff that happened, I couldn't tell you how much of it was the card and how much of it was you guys inventing it. Most of the time.
We did invent a decent amount of stuff, but
Yeah.
it worked.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
which
I
is
just
good.
got to, I'm scrolling through the group chat for like notable things, and I just got to the Charlie on Suicide Watch right now.
What?
Did I say that?
Forgotten?
And that was, you said that.
Yeah.
Well, because it was after
Because
the,
that was the thing about I don't trust people with yearbooks.
Oh.
yeah, I was never, it's producer, yeah, I was never a fan of someone with a camera and a free excuse to take pictures of people. Charlie on Suicide Watch right now.
Because my character got a thing that was like try to make everyone else laugh so that no one panics. Like that was my character's motivation in the situation, was like try to add in humor to make people calm. So I kept sending memes and making jokes.
Oh my
And that was
goodness.
probably my best one.
I love that one. Oh, and the response, bite me, Briarwood.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be honest, with the emotionality of this game, when I saw that about Charlie on Suicide Watch, I remember now, internally I was like, oh no, what happened? What card did you pull? I didn't think it was a joke.
Me just announcing to the group.
Yeah, guys, sorry, that's why I'm not out searching. Like,
This game deals with heavy topics, so
It
I thought that
does,
was
like, there
something
was-
that would have happened.
there were several warnings before. I can see how that, oh god, that was, I can see how that mix-up happened.
Thankfully, nothing else. Like I just like let it go because I was like, well, I don't like Charlie, so I'm gonna ignore it.
Wow.
Stop taking pictures of me, you freak. No.
I don't
I
live here
also
anymore.
remember that there was something that Taryn's character said that made me laugh really hard, and I had to like actually stifle a real laugh.
Was it where he was
But I
like
can't remember
bleeding and
what
was
it
like,
was.
"No, I'll be fine."
I maybe I
Oh gosh.
also Taryn's character got assaulted twice. I-
Poor
That's so
Dakota. It
funny.
was the card. He was doing what the card told him.
Yeah. And because we came to save him, he made it happen again because the card told him it had to happen. So
That was actually
Oh,
kind of funny because I knew
back.
what that card said. And whenever you were like, Dakota, I'm right outside, I was like, oh no, what if he got the part of what? Because you're supposed to like, I think it's like flip a coin and it's whichever heads or
Mhm.
tails. And I was like, oh no, what if you
Yeah.
got the thing whenever Ryan's supposed to attack him? What's gonna happen if Jack's standing right outside the house?
Well, see, because we played it as I scared him off, but then we started figuring out stuff. So we were like, "Oh, guys, we gotta go. We
And
gotta
he
move."
doubled back. Yeah.
And then he was alone again. So then he was like, "Guys, he's back."
Which was so funny to me.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really funny that he was just like, "Guys, he came back."
And yo, what about that timer and music though?
I
Yeah.
love the soundtrack for this game. It fits so perfectly. It's wonderful.
I thought.
I'm just curious if you guys had like a visual in your head of what like the town looked like. Like I know we had an
Mm.
idea of what it looked like, but if you were imagining it.
Oh
for-
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
I
thought.
had something very similar to like this is just for people in Ohio, so no, like many of the listeners might not get this, but like Waverly, something like that. That's what I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
imagining.
I can
I
see
was-
that.
I was thinking even smaller than that. Most of the thing. I was not. I'll be honest. The art is beautiful, but I thought that the portrayal of the town on the box
Way
art
too small.
was way too small and a
It's
bit
like
too old.
5 buildings. Like
Yeah.
It gets the
picture-
point across.
The picture reminds me of it's one of like the Resident Evil games or something.
Mm.
Where
Mhm.
they
Oh
go
yeah, I know
to
what you're
the
talking
town
about.
with the cannibals or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one
I
it
think
was.
that might be 2, maybe.
It was something where like
Maybe
it was
3.
all wooden buildings and there's a church.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And like that's what I was imagining from the picture. But like the actual game, I was thinking more of like Gravity Falls, but like
Yeah. That's more what I was
Yeah.
getting into. Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's also West Coast, so.
Yeah, I was getting
Yeah, too.
those vibes. Like, cause like there's a few episodes at least where they're in the town of Gravity Falls, and like there's like
That's-
the Halloween episode with the big scary monster.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's about the right kind of vibes I was getting to. Yeah. What else?
Should we talk about like our ending? Because like we had a pretty steady stream of chat through the entire game. Like that, I was very pleasantly surprised that we didn't really have any dead spots. If stuff wasn't going on in the group chat, there was private messages. There were private messages being exchanged. But like once we got towards the end and we got to like the last, I want to say like 20 minutes, it was going rapid fire. Stuff was happening.
Yeah. I do want to say I'm very proud of myself for whenever it was myself, Jack, and Dakota driving to help out in the crime. And I saw on the timer it said like 6 minutes left or like 5 minutes, 55 seconds. And I said, don't worry, guys, we'll be there in about 6 minutes.
Also, it should be noted that it says in the rules, try to come up with excuses for why your characters are not in the same location. And these three yahoos roll up in a car together.
Hey,
Okay,
gang,
but
gang.
like, what else were we gonna do once we were like, guys, we all know where Alice is.
And
It was
wait,
Let's get
perfect,
moving.
but it was so funny. I was just sitting there like, you're texting and driving.
let's talk about the parking lot incident. We go to the parking lot.
Oh my goodness. This was Tristan trying to enforce that rule of try to keep away from each other when possible.
Okay, before we get into that, what was the situation that led to the parking lot? We should probably expand upon that first.
Dude, I
and then
hardly
lead to that.
remember.
Well, they were in the lighthouse.
What I thought it was that Taryn's character and Producer's character were trying to get away from Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. We
Mhm.
were running away.
And so they ran to the park.
Yeah.
And they were like, Levi's character, come get us. And
We're on the opposite side.
Yeah. He was like, I'm on the north side parking lot. And so I just messaged him. I said, we're on the south side.
Yeah.
And the thing was, is I told just Levi's character that. So then I had to text Taryn's character and be like, I was like, all right, Jack's on his way. He's on the other side of the park. And so Taryn was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, now I've made my own reality.
It works. It's improv.
I'm so happy. That's the one thing that I love probably the most about this game is it's who dares wins, kind of.
Mhm.
If you speak first, guess what? That's reality now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one else can do anything about it. What are they gonna say? No, you're wrong.
I mean, it says in the game if somebody contradicts something, you got to figure out a way to make it work. You got to yes and.
That would have been really funny if I was like, "Oh, we're on the south side," and then you say, "Oh, wait, no, but I see you," and now suddenly we have a doppelganger, Jordan Peele's Us type story unfolding.
Something else is going on in the park while we're dealing with the body in the lighthouse. No, okay, not body. She was alive, but like
She was still a body too.
Almost two bodies in the lighthouse.
Yeah. More ghosts, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, we should talk about that a little bit. So careening towards the end of the game, we found out that we had who was revealed first. It was Ryan. Ryan was revealed first. Ryan was revealed to be our definitive suspect of who did it. And so we found that out by him attacking Taryn's character and all of that stuff happened. And then we got closer and we were all kind of like fanning out across town. And it got to the point where my character was like, all right, I'm going to go check the lighthouse, even though I really don't want to because the place freaks me the fuck out. And lo and behold, guess what location ends up being drawn for the final location?
Lighthouse.
So Charlie ended up with the 10-minute card. And so they made their way over to the lighthouse while all of this was happening. And so like the attack happens while I'm searching the lighthouse. And so there's a text chain of like, wait, should I like leave and come to you guys? Like, what do I do? And then everyone was like, no, stay there, keep searching. And then we got one of the like good endings. We found Alice and she was alive. She was unconscious but alive. But that also happens to be the card where there is a second co-conspirator who is also a suspect who also did it. So we ended up drawing the teacher. And so the teacher was in on it. The hot teacher that nobody liked, that was really creepy. So we found the teacher at the lighthouse, and that card also has a mechanic where you flip a coin between heads or tails. I think it's heads or tails, or I don't remember if that's the coin flip or if that's another one. Either way, my character ended up getting knocked out. And so there were now two unconscious teens in the lighthouse waiting for the police.
Yeah. And then we never knew if the police showed up or not, but Jack went in there.
No, they did show up. I think we agreed after the end everything was fine. Everybody was okay.
Yeah. That was our agreement.
Yes.
We can change it right now though if we want.
I like to think of the happy reunion in the parking lot.
You go to the parking spots, but then we were on the south side of the lighthouse parking.
I wasn't going anywhere. I was unconscious, and so was Alice.
Jack actually parked us in the ocean parking. Or the lake or whatever that lighthouse is for. It's got to be an ocean, right? Like that's how those work.
It can be a really big lake.
True.
Oh, and then we got to talk about the what happened in the parking lot of the lighthouse with everybody in the car together with the seatbelt and the stab wound.
There's nothing to talk about. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. But Jack's gonna have to get some new upholstery for his truck.
Yeah.
And a new seatbelt.
Because Terrence's character got stabbed, he decided he was bleeding out in the back of Jack's car. Which was honestly fun because that also added to the stakes of like, okay, we have 3 injured people right now. And then Pertuzzi got stuck in his seatbelt.
I thought it'd be realistic that he would like miss the button and then while texting while at the lighthouse. It was very funny though, because Jack was like, "No, you gotta click it like this, like so you gotta twist it a little bit."
Although I think we have to acknowledge the thing we have to acknowledge about the end is Charlie may have had the 10-minute card, but Julia got her own little hero moment at the end, and I think Julia is honestly the one that saved the entire thing.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your actions towards the end of the game?
So I remember getting to the lighthouse after Charlie, and Charlie had already went in there and was like doing the whole texting of like, she's here.
I'm hiding.
There's someone else. And so Julia, being the brave soul she is, not at all, but she starts like yelling. She's like, "Hey, you get out of there, you sillies." Trying to get the attention. Apparently didn't work. So she goes in and sees that Charlie is unconscious and went off. I'm pretty sure like right after that. So I'm gonna assume like she was able to get in there and help them. And I think that's what we discussed, right? Like she just didn't beat anyone up. But
That'd be fun. A little bit different, but that'd be funny.
he texted and was like, I found her, but there's someone else in here. And he was like freaking out and stuff. And then he stopped texting. So Julia was like, you know what? I'm going to bust through and I'm going to go see what's up and try to help. And she gets in there and they are both unconscious. And I'm pretty sure that's when the time cut. And then so we are to assume that Julia must have helped them in some way before the cops got there. Because we want the good ending. And Tusit and I were just talking about how I should have made her really buff.
Yeah. Another thing that's impressive, which, this game, it's got a decent amount of replayability, not a whole bunch. But one of the you could do is this game would not be that hard to homebrew a bit. Make some own relationship cards, make some own character cards, some own enemies. It shouldn't be too difficult because it's not super hard. So you could do some really cool stuff. If you wanted, you could make it a little less serious, a little more supernatural. You could have ghosts. But yes, I think that there's a lot that you could homebrew with this, including adding new characters, new enemies, new situations and scenarios in general, new relationships. In particular, I was talking about you could easily make Ryan a playable character.
And then characters be like suspicious of him.
You could easily make Charlie a villain.
I think that could have been interesting. I don't know how that would have worked, but I think that could have been cool.
We're getting some like Among Us vibes in here. Being the imposter.
True. But yeah, since the game doesn't have any super hard rules, it would not be hard at all to just like everyone change our imagination of how the game works real quick.
That would be interesting though if someone could play the person. Like
right?
That would be cool.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it would work so well with the teacher.
No.
But the bully, yeah. Ryan, yeah. CJ, probably
CJ to some extent, depending on how you characterize him.
Honestly, even like the characters that are already like playable, you can give them a scenario that would make them the person that got rid of Alice.
Oh, for sure. Like Evan could have a U-type situation. So too could Julia, honestly.
Yeah.
Where they're both like, well, I love her, so I'm keeping her for myself. I've locked her underground.
Yeah.
And Jack does that too. I don't know why.
You make it more of like a mystery, like with like who in the group did it.
Yeah, you could make it super duper serious and have like Jack accidentally got her killed and now he's trying to cover it up, but he's incredibly emotionally distressed.
And like
he doesn't want to go to jail.
You can make secret cards that are like based towards that too.
Yeah. Well, did you do it, Levi?
No.
Sounds like something that somebody did. If someone did it, they would have said
exactly.
Us, Levi.
Yeah.
In that
next you're gonna
same
tell me you're
vein-
gonna vent?
In that same vein, if they were ever to make an expansion for this game, I would buy it in a heartbeat because I would love to see what you could do with more cards and more scenarios and more what I don't know if scenarios is the right word, but like more cards and more player characters.
Alice is missing again. Alice goes missing for a third time. Alice is missing in Manhattan.
I feel like it kind of loses some of its like poignancy.
Exactly. They definitely shouldn't do it because then it would lose all of its original charm, but it would also be actually hilarious if they did do it.
But
It's an
instead
April
of,
Fool's prank.
Yeah.
But like instead of doing sequels, they could do like just a bunch of expansions and like
Yeah.
whatever expansion you get is like what direction you can take the game. So they could have like a
The
supernatural.
game is now
Mhm.
3
Direction.
hours long.
Or
I would play this game for 3 hours.
it's so cool.
It did not
Yeah.
feel like 90 minutes went by. I would play
Yeah.
this game for 3
That-
hours.
I
Mhm.
think that was the thing that I was the most surprised about. Even though like we would do sessions for like 12 hours, it felt like when we were in the moment, it never felt like that. And so for some reason I was like, this hour and a half is probably gonna be like feel a little long, but it did
Mhm.
not. Like it
No.
we breezed right through it.
Yeah. There's something else I was gonna say about that. Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard at all to make expansions and stuff. Well, I don't know how hard it would be, but it'd be very thematically appropriate to do expansions and stuff where you change the setting instead of it might still be Alice is missing, but maybe it's a different Alice now, and now you're in San Francisco. And now
Mhm.
instead of dealing with the small town threats, you have to deal with the big city environment threats,
Mhm.
That'd be cool.
Exactly. So there's tons of room there to do stuff like that for sure. 1800s, Alice is missing. Alice hath
Ooh.
gone missing
Oh
perchance.
my god.
That would be
You
really
can
cool,
just say
actually.
perchance.
Forsooth. Forsooth me. But yeah. Any more Alices to think about? Anyone else going missing?
I mean, I know we talked a little bit before we started rolling about some games that kind of reminded us of this a little bit in terms of like tone.
Oh, for sure. The big one that came to mind for me when I was thinking of this, when I heard about this, everything before about Alice is Missing, is it seemed like a tabletop version of Life is Strange.
Mhm.
Honestly, the vibes it gives off is just
Yeah, the art, the music, and the story all seem super similar. The only difference being that Life is Strange has a bit more supernatural already in it.
Mhm.
But I do love Life is Strange. It was one of like the first emotional games I ever saw. And it helped me realize games could be more than just yeah. So too is The Walking Dead, that one by Telltale Games, The Walking
Mhm.
Dead.
oh yes.
Y'all ever play that?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
I watched people play it. And
Levi?
What, the Telltale Walking Dead?
Yeah.
I've never played it, no, but I watched people play it.
Dude, the ending of the first season got me, bro.
is it what's the
I was about tore
See,
up at that.
every season was like sad.
hmm
But I think it was like the most recent one was pretty sad. I think it would relate the most.
Yeah. The one that got me was the ending of Lee from the first season
Hmm.
with Lee and Clementine. Oh my goodness. That's also where the meme of PewDiePie crying came from. Oh, that's a rough game. There's others I have pulled up here in the background. Undertale is a very emotional game.
Yeah.
Last of Us. Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever heard of the game called That Dragon Cancer?
Yes. I watched
Oh my
Markiplier
goodness.
play it. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah. That game's
What?
crazy. You never heard of that?
No.
Ashton, you ever heard of that game?
I'm looking at it so I can see.
Hmm.
I think
It's
I
so
watched
sad.
him, but I don't remember what it was about.
It's really just like a visual storytelling of parents dealing with their child's cancer.
Oh,
There was not a lot of gameplay, obviously. It's like a storytelling one. There's not even decision based like Telltale. It's more just like as they would say, a walking simulator.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's
It's
incredibly
beautiful.
emotional and it's very pretty.
emotional games are probably one of my favorites. I
They're
don't
pretty
know.
great.
I like to act like I hate crying, but a good cry every so often just feels really good. It just reminds me that I'm human.
Yeah,
And so, I don't know. I like emotional games.
me too. When it is earned, it is earned. Another one that I need to rewatch or replay sometime soon is To the Moon. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. I
To
don't
the
think I
moon.
ever played that. Is that the 2D game?
Yes, that was made in what's it called? RPG Maker, I think.
To the
Yeah. I never played it. I think I watched Multiplier play it, but
Mhm.
the theme song or whatever song that they play a lot in that game,
Mhm.
so good. It is
Man.
so sad, but it's
Mhm.
so good.
All right. So yeah, now we invite you at home to go have a whirlwind of emotions just like us. Go cry. Go do it. Just like the last episode we filmed with Ashlyn, I'm issuing you a challenge now. Film yourself crying. Bet. Tag us on
Do
Twitter.
not. That's weird.
It's a challenge. No.
But in all seriousness, we are not sponsored by the game in any way, but I do highly recommend go play Alice is Missing if you can get your hands on a copy. There's also a Roll20 module that you can buy. It's beautiful and it's a very fun game.
Yeah. And stay tuned for when Alice takes Manhattan.
No.
Ah.
We're gonna make it.
We're gonna get a cease and desist.
No.
Levi takes Manhattan.
I don't think we're gonna get a cease and desist when I am the original creator of Alice is Missing, Jordan.
Oh,
We
I
found
knew it. And he would have gotten away with it. Now she does it.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!